facing an effort to take down everything we have built over decades that supports people with disabilities to live in their own homes and communities. I have represented people with mental health disabilities for more than 30 years. During that time, we have made so much progress in giving people with disabilities housing and services that work, treating them like human beings with dignity, choice, and self-determination, supporting them to have the same kinds of lives as everybody else.
That's right.
And now, for the first time in decades, we are facing an effort to take down everything we have built over decades that supports people with disabilities to live in their own homes and communities, not warehoused in institutions, not cycling between the street, the shelter, the emergency room, the psych hospital, and the jail. Housing that works for people with significant mental health disabilities and substance use disorders was not some radical left pie in the sky idea. Let me remind you who first advanced this idea on a national scale. It was George W. Bush's housing czar who first promoted housing that's not conditioned on someone's ability to comply with treatment. Housing that doesn't put someone back on the street the minute they experience a problem. Housing that doesn't take people with the greatest needs and toss them aside because of those very needs. Because when people need to figure out where they're going to sleep at night, how they're going to be safe, and where their next meal is coming from, the last thing they're going to focus on is dealing with mental health services. That can only happen when someone is housed.
That's right. That's right.
This approach had bipartisan support over decades through administration after administration. Why? Because it works. It works incredibly well. So why is the federal government trying to walk away from policies that we know work, that are better for people's lives, and that are cheaper than the alternatives, and pushing to get rid of the critically important disability rights groups that have worked since the 1980s to represent and advocate for people with mental health disabilities, to keep adults and children in their own homes and communities, help children stay at home with their families, help people with disabilities get and keep jobs and stay housed. We cannot afford to let this happen. We cannot allow people's lives to be destroyed while we go back to the same failed policies that we moved away from for good reason. We know from decades of experience what works and what doesn't. The evidence could not be clearer. Housing that is not conditioned on treatment works. Abandoning that approach will not help people stay housed. It will not help people with their mental health. Because the best way to get people the help they need are to ensure that they are housed. Thank you.